Hey guys, good morning, good morning. Let me cover that up so it doesn't bother y'all. We are doing scale drawings today. We are on page 36. So if you're wondering what your table of contents should look like, there is the first 9 weeks, okay? And we should be here in the second 9 weeks. Okay, that's just so it makes it easier so you know where to find things when you're studying, okay? So go ahead and press pause. So you can copy it down. Make sure you do leave about 4 or 5 lines in between each one so you can go ahead and work it out, okay? And then press play when you're ready to come back to me. All right. All right, so a scale drawing. A scale, what a scale actually is, it's a ratio that compares the length in a drawing or model to the actual object itself. So if you think about it, you're actually scaling something up or scaling something down. So if you ever see a road map, okay, or Google Maps or something, it takes something huge, like the distance from here to San Antonio, and it makes it really small on a map, okay? Or if you're in science class, it takes like an atom or a molecule, something you can't see, and it enlarges it, okay? So the scaling pretty much brings something to where we can actually manipulate it and see it, okay? Now to figure out how big or how small the actual object is, they have to give you a scale, okay? They have to tell you what it is in scale to. So here, some examples, you might see 1 inch to 300 miles. So it kind of looks like a ratio, okay? They can also say 1 inch equals 300 miles. So if you ever look at the key of a map or graph or something, they'll tell you this is the scale we used to either enlarge or reduce the object, okay? Now to solve them, very simple. The second 9 weeks is going to be a lot of proportions. So you're going to use a proportion, okay? And I can't emphasize enough, like we did on the proportions last week, you have to write the units down. If you write the units down, it makes everything a lot easier, okay? And once you have your proportions set up correctly, remember 2 ratios, you'll need 2 ratios, then you just cross multiply and divide. Now, scale drawings are kind of easy because if you look at this, the scale, the ratio is actually written for you already, okay? So that is your first ratio. The second ratio is going to be, well, what am I converting really? What am I changing? What am I enlarging? What am I making smaller, okay? So that's what we're going to do today. So let's take a look at some of the examples I have here, okay? So the first example says, the length of the side of a house is 3 centimeters. On a scale drawing, what is the actual length of the side of the house? And it gives you the scale 1 centimeter to 2.5 meters. I need that. That tells me how they enlarged or how they reduced the house here. Okay, and here obviously they reduced it. Now the other piece of information they gave you is the length of the side of the house is 3 meters. So length of the house is 3 centimeters on a scale drawing. Okay, so one thing I do want to mention about the actual scale, it's written like this. Okay, it can also be written as a fraction. So I can also write it 1 inch to 300 miles. Okay, and what it actually means is the number on top, or the number that's first, is the model. Okay, it's the model or the drawing, whereas the bottom number is the actual distance or the actual size of the object we're talking about, okay? So when I look at this, this says 1 centimeter. So I'm going to write the scale first. The scale is 1 centimeter and 2.5 meters. M is for meters, okay? So this is my scale. So that means 1 centimeter is the model, and 2.5 is the actual length of the real house, okay? Now let's take a look at what they're using. They're saying the length of the side of a house is 3 centimeters on a scale drawing. So we're talking about the scale drawing. We're talking about the model, okay? But another thing that can help you out, take a look at the 3. What units is it in? It's in centimeters. So that's why I like to put this over here, because it's telling me the centimeters belong on top and the meters belong on the bottom. So since this told me this is 3 centimeters, I'm going to put it on top with the centimeters, Okay, and we're trying to figure out how big is the house, the side of the house actually, okay? So how big is it actually? So our answer, since the X is here, is going to be in meters, M, okay? So how do we solve proportions? Just like we've been doing since the beginning of the second 9 weeks, we are going to cross multiply. So 2.5 times 3, let me do my math to the side over here. 2.5 times 3, and 1 decimal, I got 7.5. 7.5 equals, and then we go in the opposite direction. 1 times x. Oh, that's going to be easy. I love scales because you're going to have a 1 in there. You're either going to be multiplying by 1 or dividing by 1. And I don't know about you, but I really do like dividing by 1. Okay. So then here, what happens when you divide any number by 1? It's the same thing. You get the exact same answer. So x is equal to 7.5, and don't forget to put the units, meters. So now I know that on my scale drawing or the blueprint, have you ever seen a blueprint of a house? Now I know that, yes, it's 3 centimeters on this little paper, but I need to make sure it's going to be 7.5 meters in real life. So that's going to help you with dimensions on, do I have enough land to build this house? How much lumber am I going to need? And stuff like that. So we really do use scale drawings a lot, okay? Especially if you want to be an architect, if you want to be an artist, a sculpture, okay? If you want to be sculpting some things, this will be great for you to know also how you scale things up or down, okay? All right, let's try the next one. The scale of a map is 1 centimeter to 5 kilometers. This is a ratio. I'm going to highlight that because I know I need that, okay? The distance between 2 cities is 112 kilometers. I'm going to put it different color because I know it doesn't belong with that first ratio. This belongs to the second ratio. How far apart are they on the map? Okay. This right here, that colon tells you I am a ratio. Keep me and my buddy together. So I'm going to keep them together. Okay. That is my first ratio. Your scale is your ratio already written out for you. Nice and pretty. But you need to write the units to help you out. Okay. So this is 1 centimeter. Okay. 5 kilometers or kilometers, however you want to say it. Okay. They belong together. Write the units down so you know where to put that other number. Okay. Now take a look. The other number is 112. And look at the units. The units are km, which is kilometers as well. So centimeters belong on top. That is not centimeters. Kilometers belong on bottom. This is kilometers. So I'm going to put it on the bottom. Okay, and that's kilometers. So I'm looking for how many centimeters it is on the map. Okay, so I want to know how far is it on the map portion. So we solve it the way we do. See how I said it's easy because you're always going to have a 1 most of the time. So 1 times 112 is 112. Okay, and then you go in the opposite direction. 5 times x is 5x. So that tells me right here I'm dividing the 112 by the 5. Okay, so cancel, cancel. And now I'm going to do my math over here. 112 divided by 5. That goes into 11 2 times. 1 left over, bring down the 2. 5 goes into 2. 5 goes into 12 2 times. That is 10 again. 2 left over. I'm going to go ahead and add a decimal and a 0. So I know it is going to terminate here. 5 goes into 20 exactly 4 times. Okay. So x is equal to 22 and 4/10. Don't forget to put the units, centimeters. Okay. So if I am creating a map, let's say you're going to be a map maker or something. Okay. If I'm creating a map, then this tells me that I better make sure that those 2 cities are 22.4 centimeters apart with my ruler for this scale to work. Okay. It's kind of easy because right here, it gives you the ratio. So you're not looking like whenever you're doing regular proportions, you're not trying to figure out who belongs to who and what. they are giving you the ratio there. I mean, they put the colons together, they put the equal sign like up here, okay? Or they'll use the word 2, 1 to 5. So let's take a look at the last ones I have here. And we're going to use this scale for both of these to solve them, okay? A scale drawing has a scale of 3 inches to 10 feet. There's my first ratio. They belong together. We're going to find the actual length of A and B, okay? So let's take a look at letter A. This is the scale I'm using. Like I've said before, we're going to keep them together. So 3 inches and 10 feet. And I can't stress enough, if you write those units down, it will really help you. Trust me, please trust me, okay? It's not extra work, it's going to help you in the long run. Now this one we are changing to 21 inches. So inches is on top, so it's going to be on top over here. 21 inches. So I'm looking for feet. My answer is going to be in feet. So let's cross multiply divide, or if you see that little shortcut from 21 to 3, you can do that. But if not, 10 times 21 is 210. And then 3 times x is 3x, which shows you're going to divide 210 by 3. So cancel, cancel. 3 into 21 is 7. 3 into 0 is 0. And my answer has to be in feet. So the actual length is 70 feet. 70 feet. Okay. All right, let's try this one, and then you'll do some on your own, okay? We're using the exact same scale. So 3 inches and 10 feet. But now we are changing it to 6 inches. Okay, so it belongs on top, inches to inches. And my answer is going to be in feet, because that's what we're looking for. Okay, so cross multiply divide, unless you see the shortcut, you can do the shortcut, okay? And I'll show you the shortcut with this one. So 10 times 6 is 60. And you go the opposite direction. 3 times x. Good. That shows me that I am dividing the 60 by 3. Cancel, cancel. 60 divided by 3. 3 goes into 6 twice and 0. And my answer is in feet. So 20 feet is what the actual length is going to be. Okay. Now for that shortcut, let me see. If you want to try out the shortcut again, this is just like when we did the solving proportions. Okay. If you want to try it out, this is what you do. You go from variable or from number to variable. Okay. So we're going that direction. So I'm going to go the same direction here. Remember, it only works with pretty numbers. Okay. So here I have 3 to 6. I multiplied 3 times 2 to get 6. So do the same thing down here. 10 times 2 gives you 20. And there's our answer right there. That's the shortcut. But it only works on pretty numbers. Like look at this one. Always go from the number to the variable. So I'm going from left to right. So look at the 3. 3 to 21. Okay. 3 times 7 is 21. 10 times 7, there's my answer. Okay. This will not work because I cannot go from 5 to 112. So I just multiply, divide. That way I give a decimal. Same thing up here. So pretty much if your answer is a decimal, you do have to take the time and cross multiply and divide. Okay. Excellent. All right. Time for you to try it out. Okay. So let me get this ready. You are going to convert 3 numbers for me. Okay. Using the exact same scale. There we go. And I will, yeah, that's good. Okay, go ahead and press pause. Try it out and come back. All right, let's see. A map has a scale of 1 inch to 45 miles. So that's what I'm going to be using. Okay. And we're going to find the actual distance of 6 inches, 12.5 inches, and 5 inches. So let's start over here. My scale is 1 inch to 45 miles. I am converting 6 inches. So inches on top, you should have put the 6 on top. And your answer is going to be in X miles. Okay? Now we're going to cross multiply 45 times 6. I'm going to do it down here. 40 times, that's 30. 270. So 270, and then you go the opposite direction. I love this. It's a 1. 1 times x is just x, really. You don't even have to divide because anything divided by 1 gives you the exact same answer. So we have 270 miles for letter A. So if you got that, give yourself a pat on the back. Good job. Okay. Let's see how you did on the next one. Exact same scale. So 1 inch and 45 miles. Okay, that's not changing. Let's go to the 12.5 inches. Just like before, inches are on top, so inches goes on top here. That's why it's so important to put those units down, okay? Take that little extra time to put the units down because it's going to save you in the long run, guys, I promise, okay? Especially when they start getting harder. Let's go ahead and cross multiply here. So I'm going to multiply 12.5 times 45. One decimal spot. I got 562 and 5/10. And then we're going to go in the opposite direction. Awesome. 1x. Like I said, pretty much that is just the same thing. Okay. So cancel, cancel. X is equal to 562.5 miles. MI for miles. Good. How'd y'all do? If you're getting them wrong because of maybe your multiplication, just be very careful with your multiplying. Go back to the first 9 weeks when we did multiplying decimals. Just remind yourself how to get them done correctly. Okay? You'll be fine. Okay, last one. Same exact. Ooh, I put the inches on the wrong side. That's okay. It means the same thing. Same scale. 5 inches belongs on top. We're looking for how many miles that should give us. So 45 times 5, 225, equals 1x. And what did I tell you about that 1x? It's like, don't even bother. When you divide anything by 1, you get the exact same answer. So your answer is 225 miles. That's it. Okay, so hopefully you got them right. If you got them wrong, double check to make sure that you are writing the units down and you're making sure that the scale is together. Okay, they are together here, and that you have the units in the correct spot. Okay. All right, guys, I'll see you at the Google Meets, and then I'll see you tomorrow if you don't go. Okay, bye.